On the windswept cliffs of Big Sur, where the vast Pacific Ocean roared with wild abandon and the horizon burned with streaks of orange and purple, a life-changing moment was quietly unfolding. Jason Holloway had chosen this dramatic edge of the world to carve a memory that would, on the surface, seem to defy time. With a steady yet trembling resolve, Jason dropped to one knee on the ancient, weathered rocks, his heart pounding in cadence with the crashing waves far below. The sunset, rich in its display of fiery hues and deep violet shadows, lent the scene an almost magical quality that seemed ripped from the pages of a timeless romance. Nestled in his hand was a soft, velvet-lined box, its presence as delicate as the promise it contained. Inside lay a vintage rose-gold ring, its band intricately designed and crowned by a brilliant pear-cut diamond that caught the fading light with every subtle turn. The ring's story was steeped in sentiment. Jason, with quiet emotion, murmured that it had once belonged to his grandmother. For Claire Ellis, whose dreams had always danced on the fringes of grand, cinematic gestures and heartfelt declarations, the tableau before her appeared to be a living embodiment of those very dreams. Every element of the scene, from the gentle caress of the ocean breeze to the slow dance of sunlight across the rocks, worked in concert to create an atmosphere charged with both romance and anticipation. Yet, amid the palpable glow of that enchanted evening, there was a silent suggestion that all might not be as perfectly aligned as it seemed. The ring, a cherished relic of familial heritage, also carried with it an unspoken secret, a secret that would soon ripple through the fabric of this love story. As the couple allowed themselves to be serenaded by nature's own lullaby, their hearts beat in unison with the promise of forever. Little did Claire know that the delicate metal and sparkling gem cradled a mystery, a hidden narrative that would force her to question everything. In that fleeting moment, as the past intermingled with hope and desire, the stage was silently set for revelations that would challenge the very foundation of the trust and love they believed was unbreakable. Some weeks after that stirring proposal, the narrative took an unexpected turn within the hushed interior of Goldberg & Sons Jewelers, San Francisco. Inside the warm, softly lit workshop, the gentle clink of tools and the sporadic hum of conversation provided a comforting backdrop. Here, the fate of the cherished ring would be reconsidered by the deliberate, steady hands of jeweler Amir Goldberg. As he carefully measured and resized the antique band, his practiced eyes caught sight of something peculiar and out of place. Leaning in with a focused intensity, he brought the ring closer under his magnifying loupe, revealing an inscription so delicate it could have easily been overlooked. Tiny, elegant letters spelled out, "To M, forever, J." In that charged moment, the ordinary act of jewelry repair transformed into a scene of quiet revelation. The inscription, personal and haunting in its simplicity, immediately raised a question, one that struck at the very heart of the ring's romantic backstory. For Claire Ellis, who had long believed herself to be the recipient of Jason's heartfelt promise, the discovery felt like a subtle betrayal painted in gold. The engraved initials did not correspond to her name, and within the warm, confined space of the jeweler's bench, the air seemed to grow thick with the weight of hidden truths. Jason's earlier casual dismissal of the engraving, attributed to a previous owner or a mistaken past, now resonated differently. The careful adjustment of Amir's magnifying tool and the soft hum of the workshop underscored a tension that was both silent and poignant. What had once seemed like an innocent relic of sentimental past was now casting a long shadow of mystery and doubt. The scene, so meticulously captured in the soft gleam of polishing lights and the muted murmur of conversation, hinted that sometimes the smallest details possess the ability to unravel the grandest of stories. This precious inscription had unexpectedly set the stage for the next chapter, a chapter where every etched letter beckoned a deeper inquiry into the life that lay behind the romantic gesture. As twilight surrendered to night, a quiet determination took root in the heart of Claire Ellis. With the gentle murmur of the city in the background, she embarked on a personal investigation that would challenge every assumption she had held dear. In the dimly lit confines of Jason's home office, where neatly stacked tax files and a collection of winter coats created a facade of order, Claire began to look beyond the surface. Her eyes, now sharpened by suspicion and a need for truth, fell upon a modest photo album carefully labeled Memories. The label, scribbled in Jason's precise handwriting, prompted a quiet curiosity that soon consumed her. Flipping through the album, Claire discovered a series of candid photographs, Polaroids that captured moments of intimacy and adventure. There, tucked away among images of sweeping landscapes and shared laughter, were several pictures of Jason accompanied by a mysterious brunette. Each photograph was marked with dates and affectionate captions, and in every single instance the letter M appeared as a recurring signature of a past relationship. The dates in the album, some reaching back as far as 2013 and 2016, starkly contrasted with Jason's claim of having met her only in 2017. As each page turned, the narrative that Jason had so carefully constructed began to unravel, revealing inconsistencies that tugged at the edges of truth. The soft rustle of paper and the low hum of the night seemed to echo Claire's escalating alarm. Each photograph was accompanied by a brief caption that spoke of shared experiences, a birthday celebration in Napa, an intimate adventure that bore the inscription, "M said yes," and other cherished moments that were once meant to be private treasures. The repetition of the letter M in these relics of memory was not a mere coincidence. It was a deliberate marker of a past that Jason had long tried to bury. With methodical precision, Claire began to piece together the fragments of this concealed history, her careful scrutiny casting doubt over the idyllic narrative of their union. Every discovered detail contributed to a mounting realization. The charming proposal by the cliffs of Big Sur, with its promises of enduring love and timeless sentiment, was undercut by an insidious deceit. The tension in the room thickened as Claire absorbed the implications of the album, understanding that the most intimate memories were being hidden behind a facade of carelessness. The soft lighting of the office, the quiet turn of each page, and the slowly dawning comprehension of betrayal wove together a tapestry of emotions: hurt, disbelief, and determination. In that quiet investigation, where every photograph and caption beckoned a question unanswered, the once beautiful narrative of love and promise transformed into a shadowy reminder that truths often lie hidden, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to search for them. In the wake of mounting evidence and hidden photographs, the pursuit of truth carried Claire further down a winding path that led her to the identity behind the mysterious M. Through careful research and a quiet dive into public records, the narrative of this elusive figure began to take shape. The story that emerged identified Margaret Maggie Voss, a woman whose presence in Jason's past was as undeniable as it was unexpected. With deliberate steps and an unflinching resolve, Claire pieced together Maggie's profile, discovering that Maggie had played an integral role in Jason's earlier life. The investigation revealed that Maggie was more than just a fleeting memory. She was a fully realized presence with her own dreams and ambitions. Records showed that Maggie worked as a marine biologist, a field that resonated with the very pulse of nature and adventure. The irony of the situation was not lost on the unfolding narrative, as the vibrant world of marine science contrasted sharply with the romanticized image of the proposal that Claire had once cherished. The digital traces left by Maggie, from reverse image searches to professional profiles on LinkedIn, all painted a portrait of someone deeply engaged with life and committed to her work. Perhaps the most startling piece of evidence came from an unexpected source: a wedding announcement in the San Francisco Chronicle, dated back to 2016. In that announcement, a photograph documented Maggie adorned with the very rose gold ring that Jason had now claimed as sentimental heirloom. Here, in a public declaration meant to celebrate love, the ring emerged as a tangible link between Maggie and the promises Jason once made. The appearance of the ring in Maggie's past not only contradicted Jason's carefully woven narrative, but also served as a stark reminder that truth, however intricately hidden, has a way of demanding to be seen. In the soft glow of understanding and the weight of undeniable evidence, the story of Maggie unfolded with clarity. The serene yet relentless pace of the investigation transformed what was once a private mystery into a public reality, one that underscored the deep complexities of trust and love. As every digital footprint and public record converged, The enigmatic figure of Maggie, with her life and her past interlaced with Jason's actions, became the centerpiece of an unfolding drama. In this revelation, the rose gold ring ceased to be a mere symbol of sentimental value and emerged instead as a beacon of hidden truths, awaiting full disclosure. The air grew thick with tension as the inevitable confrontation edged closer, drawing both Claire and Jason into its unyielding gravity. In a small, unadorned room that now bore the scars of shattered illusions, the gathered evidence laid itself bare. The soft hum of the evening was punctuated only by the measured footsteps of truth, as Claire methodically arranged the incriminating fragments, a photo album replete with coded memories, a series of captions marked by a persistent M, and the haunting engraving that had silently spoken volumes. Each detail, once buried in the comfort of romantic recollection, now glimmered with the harsh light of reality. As the confrontation unfolded under the steady gaze of the fading day, the narrative drew a subtle yet powerful parallel between the delicate nature of trust and its vulnerability to deception. Every so-called revelation was met with a swiftly changing expression on Jason's face, a fleeting mask of shock melting into anger, then quickly into calculation. The transformation of his demeanor was as rapid as it was telling. In that tightly contained moment, the truth wove itself into the very fabric of their shared space. The meticulously arranged evidence became the silent voice of accusation, speaking far louder than any carefully chosen words could. In the midst of that charged atmosphere, the narrative lingered on the details that had once seemed insignificant. The engraved initials, now glaring under the scrutiny of truth, were more than just a relic of a misplaced past. They were the very evidence of a double life. Jason's attempted dismissal of these details as remnants of a bygone era crumbled under the weight of the facts. Even as his explanations tumbled out, fraught with half-truths and desperate justifications, the meticulously gathered property records told a starkly different story. They revealed that the cherished ring, which he had claimed was an heirloom imbued with family legacy, had been newly purchased, its origins meticulously concealed, and its true purpose linked intricately to Maggie's past. In that moment of reckoning, the room seemed to hold its breath as emotions swirled in a delicate dance of regret, disbelief, and resignation. The chain of evidence, from the rhythmic turning of album pages to the immutable inscription inside the ring, converged to reveal that Jason had been living two lives. The confrontation was less about assigning blame and more about the tragic inevitability of secrets catching up with their keepers. Every subtle shift in expression, every measured pause, underscored the gravity of the truth that now lay bare between them. The confrontation, heavy with the promise of revelations, signified not just the end of one chapter, but the irrevocable opening of another. A chapter where love and trust had been forever marred by betrayal, leaving in its wake a trail of quiet devastation and the inescapable call for accountability. In the quiet stillness that followed the storm of confrontation, the aftermath of shattered illusions began to settle like a soft layer of dust over the remnants of what once had seemed so promising. With an air of solemn resolve, Claire took the final step that would symbolically sever the ties to a past built on half-truths. In a measured act of finality, she carefully packaged the problematic ring and sent it back to the office that Jason had once claimed as a haven of his sincere intentions. The simple note attached, returned to sender, spoke volumes in its brevity, serving as both an end to a storied chapter and an invitation for deeper introspection. As days turned into weeks, faint ripples of the confrontation spread quietly through mutual circles of friends. Whispers of unresolved secrets mingled with the recollections of happier times, painting a picture of love marred by deception. In hushed recountings, the ring came to be known not as a token of eternal promise, but as a monolithic symbol of a carefully concealed double life. Further investigations revealed that Jason, ever the master of half-truths, had even ventured into proposing to another woman in 2021. A proposal marked by a different vintage ring and accompanied by a similar chorus of quickly dissolved commitments. Meanwhile, the person whose identity had long been obscured by mystery, Margaret Maggie Voss, stepped into the light in a quiet yet definitive manner. When contacted for comment, Maggie's single, measured sentence confirmed what the carefully gathered evidence had long suggested. Hidden truths refused to remain buried forever. As the investigation deepened, the ring itself found a new resting place, not on a delicate finger, but secured in an evidence locker at the SFPD. In that cold institutional space, the ring came to represent more than a broken promise. It stood as a testament to the truth that no matter how artfully one may weave a tale of love and legacy, the smallest details can unmask the grandest deceptions. Thus, as the echoes of the past slowly faded into memories and the unanswered questions lingered like soft shadows, the narrative left an indelible mark, a reminder that even in the most heartfelt of gestures, the truth will eventually find its way to the surface, leaving behind an enduring legacy of both beauty and betrayal.